This evening has nothing to do with me. I am the least relevant person in the room. This is all about the candidates that are here. This is all about the lovely family of people that are here in support of them. This is all about Mark and Marlene and the people that helped make this happen. This is what this is all about. So a massive round of applause for these guys for making this happen and for candidates that are going to make change happen. I think one of the lovely things that you hear time and time again from these guys, I don't know if it's sort of a little bit kind of like we're a bit aggrieved, but we have no choice but to do this. It's like, I could have been retired right now, guys, do you understand? I could have been in Bali with my feet up, but I've got to do this because I don't know what else to do. I have to do this.
Yes.
And that's what we're hearing time and time again. It is a calling. I believe certain individuals are called to make this happen. And if at any time in our history there was a calling to make your country great again, it is right now, and it is the election in 2020, and it has to go to Trump. We are all looking to you, and we all need you for that. My name is Katie Hopkins. I'm known as many things. Horseface is a popular one amongst the left. Horseface, yes, you heard it right. The biggest bitch in Britain. I get called that quite a lot as well. I'm not that big. Look, I'm 130 pounds.
I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I'm going with that as a compliment. I get called Milo's mum quite a lot. Quite like the Milo's mum thing. Or Angry Ellen DeGeneres. Angry Ellen, can you believe it? I know I have short hair, but I'm not even gay. Those are two different things. I have to explain that quite a lot in America. I understand that right now we're going to have 800,000 Californians without power, potentially. Your local electricity boards are going to shut down the power because we need to protect you against wildfires, which I completely understand. So I've been advising all Californians, if you're at all worried or concerned about what it's like to live without any power whatsoever, please do get in touch with Hillary Clinton. I went through, so I was always supposed to be in the army. I went through university sponsored by the Intelligence Corps. I went through the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, which is kind of like your West Point, just obviously a bit better. And I went in as one of 30 girls. There were 6 platoons of boys and there was 1 platoon of girls. And we came out the other side as 8 girls that made it through. And I was given a 35-year regular commission to the British Army in the Intelligence Corps. So I was supposed to be, in my head, the first female general. That's my background. Well, yeah, except here I am, and people say, did you do 35 years? And I'm like, do I look 165? I mean, just checking, I'm still, yeah. So anywho, I also am epileptic, or at least I was. I believed in my stubborn younger self, because I am like this, as we recognize, that if I got through the academy, proved that I was physically capable enough, the army would see that I could still be useful, even though I had suspected epilepsy. I got through the academy, I was given the Adjutant's Award for Athletic Achievement. I was the 800-meter runner for the army. But I see now, and I had to be medically discharged in the end because of my epilepsy. And I understand now that an epileptic with a semi-automatic weapon may not be the best idea on the planet ever. I didn't realize that at the time. I had to go to an event at Riverside the other evening. They were missing a speaker, 600 individuals, great Republicans, part of our family, missing a speaker. Sebastian Gorka pulled out with 24 hours to go till the event. So I whizzed up there to be their new Sebastian Gorka. I was kind of like, I'm just going to point out, I'm not Ellen DeGeneres, but I'm definitely not Sebastian Gorka. There's a massive difference, I'm reliable. And I don't mean it, I love him. And the brilliant thing was that during the draw, I had to give out the raffle, like a job you get given. And in the UK, where I come from, obviously if there's a draw or a raffle, we give out something really rubbish, like a bottle of shampoo that my mum found in the cupboard, or a nasty bottle of wine that no one ever is going to drink, you know. Guess what I handed out at the raffle at Riverside in the lovely, it was like a casino there. I handed out 2 AR-15s. Yes, sir. Yeah, I love the United States of America. I love this place. I tell you, your First and Second Amendments are, I would happily, if someone came here with a bus and told me I could lie down in front of that bus and we would get a First and Second Amendment in the UK, I'd lie down in front of that bus with much happiness. Despite not being able to be armed in the UK, our police are effectively armed with the equivalent of a hand sanitizer and some Clorox to defend themselves. I mean, I'm serious. Despite that, I am a paid up, signed up member of the NRA. Yes. I have a car sticker on the back of my car. I have 3 children under the age of 15. I also have a husband. It's a surprising thing, I know. I call him my current husband so he doesn't get too comfortable. But on the back of my car, I have a sticker saying, I don't, he's great, saying with the NRA, other mothers that do the school run have a sticker saying baby on board, you know, all of those bits. Like that's going to change the way people drive. I don't get those stickers at all. Oh, there's a baby on board, I'll be careful then. Oh. So mine says NRA, it says guns don't kill people, but I will gladly do so. So people know where they stand with me, so they know what they're dealing with. And it is a great sadness to me that we don't have your constitution. People say, what would I do if I could? I would make people read their constitution, learn their constitution. I would have kids standing up chanting the constitution every day because it is the single greatest document ever written in the history of mankind. Just to give a quick example of where my country is at, and it is a moment of sadness, is that my country is falling and we are falling fast. I am now a minority white, and we are a minority in London, in Luton, in Leicester, in Bradford, in Birmingham, in Manchester, the list goes on. I am a minority in my own country. There is a new definition, it seems, in my country of diversity, and it just means no white people left. I never knew that's what that meant. The definition of racist in my country is a white person with an opinion. But the thing about this is that I'm being outnumbered more quickly than we can do something about it. By 2035, more births will be to Muslims than to any other religion, total, which is not a problem if we're going to integrate, but they don't wish to integrate. And by 2050, we are outnumbered. Muslims outnumber any other religion. So in time, my country will fall. And the fall that we witness day to day for me and my family is a policing of every thought. We have de facto blasphemy laws in the UK.
Oh my God.
It's the reason they need a definition of Islamophobia so it can become actually a prosecutable offence, at which point I will go to prison. A friend of mine, a journalist, was refused entry the other day into the UK on the basis of future hate speech, as yet unsaid, that might upset local communities. I know it's upsetting, I'm with you, I'm with you. Future hate speech as yet unsaid. And hate speech policing in my country is reaching an all-time kind of epic scale. Sadiq Khan, the little Muslim mayor that I'm not particularly fond of, everybody give me a boo. So fun, Panto would be great. Sadiq Khan has a hate crime police force unit. He gave it £2.7 million at a time we don't have anybody to police our streets. Our knife crime is at historic highs, the highest ever. And they police our social media, particularly my Twitter. He is really short, actually, disturbingly short. I call him, I'm sorry sir, nipple height, in heels. And I'm talking about my mother's nipples. We are talking very low. He's very small indeed. But the point is, this policing of hate speech means that people are frightened to speak about anything. People are self-censoring at the point before they even open their mouths. I know you all relate to this. I know how this is. Because if someone in the UK retweets a tweet of mine, then they will be fired from their job. A fireman just the other week lost his job for retweeting a tweet of mine. Donald Trump retweets my tweet and they shut down my PayPal. I mean, this is the suppression of speech at a significant level. And indeed, I applaud the work being done to reverse the appalling progress that's being made by the trans and LGBTQ communities. I don't care who you want to be, how you want to live your life, but do not force feed it down the necks of my children aged 4, because it is simply not acceptable. We have the same trans issue in the UK They are in our schools at the age of 4, teaching LGBTQ, and we have trans individuals in our schools persuading children to change. Unfortunately as well, we now have a situation in British schools where schools are able to transition a child without informing the parents. So we had a mother, one of my friends, go to school not so long ago for a parent-teacher meeting, and at the parent-teacher meeting she was informed that her daughter was now a son, and the school can transition that child. So that's the level that this permeates down to, and very fast. And in terms of coming for us, and it's why I so applaud candidates and people that put their heads above the parapet, because we know it's not easy, we know we get attacked, and it's a very brave thing to do, and I salute you. For me, at a personal level, it's meant many things, and I have no complaints, and none of this is in any way a sympathy thing for me. I'm almost proud, I think. I was a national columnist for 4 years on major newspapers, Men Online, The Sun, the biggest red paper in the UK. Had the most read column, so it wasn't just that it was dreadful that I got fired. I got fired because my opinions were no longer considered acceptable. Then they came for my radio show. I had a radio show on a Sunday. It was lovely because people could ring in from their kitchens. They used to ring in their pajamas. And particularly ladies used to ring me, and it was beautiful because these were the truths of the real people of Britain, and it was just a glorious thing. And actually some of our biggest listening group were young people who feel very alone and isolated at the moment. One of the things we can really do is reach out to young people because they're waiting to have a friend. Anyway, they shut down my radio show, so they made me unemployable. Then they came for my children. I have 15, 14 and an 11-year-old son. We call him Golden Balls, mostly because he's treated like he has them. But yeah, so they reported me, and do report me occasionally, to social services on the basis that I'm a bad mother to my children. And social services, whom I respect absolutely, have to come and check out on those reports, which is correct. But of course I do rather wish their time was being dedicated to children who are really in trouble and children who need their help.
That's right.
So that happens a lot. And where I am, I guess in the UK, it's a little different. If you have my personal opinions, you're a pro-Brexiteer, pro-Trump, conservative, Christian, white woman, you're now no longer allowed to adopt children if you have my set of beliefs. So that fine line between me being able to hold on to children is increasingly fine. And then unsatisfied with taking my jobs, they look for my children. They had, I mean, you know how this works, but you've seen it for many people. Mark Stein's just gone through it. Litigation against me, saying that people would cause serious harm by things I said. They don't have to prove serious harm, but it can be perceived serious harm. So subsequent litigation meant that eventually I sold my family home to clear the litigation. A form of bankruptcy, but not bankruptcy, because I wouldn't allow myself to do that for pride reasons. And then a couple of jihadis set out to take my head as a wedding gift to her new husband. A lady said she wanted my head as a wedding present. I mean, where we come from, usually we just go with a toaster or some like towels, maybe something for the kitchen, but she wanted my head. I guess it's a Muslim thing. So they practiced at home. They had a shot dummy and a hunting knife, and they practiced chopping my head off. Her name was I think. I mean, I don't know. But she said that I was the biggest bitch of them all. Yeah, you better believe it, sister. So they came to take my head, my house. I have all my children, my husband, my parents. We live out the way in the countryside. I was just drawing us a diagram here. So they're a long way from what I would consider to be trouble, and there is a reason for that. But still, a squad came in the middle of the night and installed panic alarms into my home. They installed a box at the top of my house on the 3rd floor, and I was told that if jihadis came into my home to behead me, I should run to the top of my house. All I had to do was shake the panic box, and the police would come. And then they left my house in the middle of the countryside and told me not to worry. It's the sort of thing you do worry about. And finally, of course, the establishment hadn't quite finished with me yet, so they commissioned a play. You can see it online if you Google the assassination of Katie Hopkins. And so billboards went up around the country for this play called The Assassination of Katie Hopkins. It was a state-funded play. Taxpayers' money paid for the play to happen, and the left found it to be a highly amusing, look at the way social media makes people great. And I tell you all of these things, as I say, not because they're problematic to me. My view very much is you carry along. You take everything from me, you have nothing left to take from me because you can't take what matters most, because what matters most is the fight for my country, for this country, for our Judeo-Christian culture and everything that we stand for. And my view very much is that if you take from us, you are, the left is, Frankenstein. We are their monster. And it's the reason that 1 million great people follow me on Twitter is because they are just showing that they are with us, they stand with us, they're part of this great family. And I say to you every day, you are not alone. You are not alone. We are many, we are many, we are many. I just walked around that mall earlier and 2 people stopped me to say, keep going, go in great guns, do what you do. We're not alone. Our supporters are everywhere. They may not be able to tell you, but they are with you, I tell you. And the good news out of Britain is that we now have Boris Johnson. We have Bojo putting the mojo back into Britain. I'm very excited indeed. We will leave the EU on the 31st of October. You have my word, I promise you, I believe in Boris. I'm willing to be proved wrong and I'm not going to be. We are going to be out of the EU. We're going to take our country back. And the reason people voted Brexit, no one wants to be honest about it, but I am. We voted Brexit because we want to take control of our country. We want our borders back. We want to be proud about our country. And we want to be proud of being British again. And that is what we have fought for. And God bless the 3.5 years people have dug in waiting for this to happen. The will of the people will be delivered by Bojo. You will have seen, of course, the normal smears have come out. People have come out of the closet, pathetic women, saying, well, 20 years ago, Boris squeezed the top of my thigh at dinner. I tell you right now, if Boris Johnson squeezed the top of my thigh at dinner 20 years ago, I would not have showered since. So I'm very happy with that. He's a lovable man, and if you met him, he has charisma, he has charm, he is Trump. And the only thing is, both of them have the worst hairstyles on the planet, so when they get together... Oh, we need to get a hairdresser in on that act too. And so that's coming out of Britain. Boris is rising back up. The 17.4 million people are feeling energised. There is going to be a terrific feeling in the UK on the 31st of October. It is a glorious day for Britain. And that's when we look to you guys. And that's why I'm here as well, because this matters. We need you to fight like you're fighting, and we need you to fight now. You need to fight like the brave protesters in Hong Kong, waving the American flag, wanting to stand up for democracy, laying it all down. They have said they will die for democracy, and they mean it. And we have to take from them the courage to fight now, every single day, until we get Trump back into power. Because the whole of Europe is looking to you guys for hope. We need you to succeed. And I tell you, I could kiss the 64 million Americans that voted for Trump last time. And if you can all just take one person with you next time, we need to get Trump back in, because we do look to America for hope. My real sense here is that there are three key things that we can do just as individuals. And one of them is to remember what you know. Remember what your truths are. Sometimes we feel like saying, God, are we mad? Am I mad? Am I the crazy one? You're not the crazy one. Know what you know. Be clear about what you believe in your heart. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Number 2, resist the narrative. Do not let them spoon feed you the nonsense that you know that they are. Help others to just clarify and classify what they're being told, because this is the deception that goes on, the disinformation by the mainstream media. And the third thing we can do, and it's the most important thing of all, is to do this, is to get together with people that you know, that you trust, that you like, even that you don't like, but that you can have time with, and to remind yourself that you're not alone. This is truly one of the loneliest times I think people have felt. Over the last week, I've met many people who've been at events and have found themselves in tears, just simply from the relief of being around people who they feel at home with, who they know. It doesn't matter what they say with, it doesn't matter if they say the right or wrong thing, because there's no such thing as right or wrong, actually. Opinions can't be right or wrong. No one made someone else the adjudicator of what's right or wrong. Be together, breathe, and remind each other you are doing the right thing and you're in this fight for the right reasons. So I just want to say thank you so much for having me here. I will always be right by your side if you need me, or if you're getting any grief from anyone at all, you send them my way and I will remove them at the kneecaps without a problem. And I say, God bless the Asian America Freedom Pack. God bless all the candidates here, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much indeed.